gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any materials produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Paranormal Buzz Radio is proud to present Girls Vs. Ghosts Media's The Dr. Gina Show with Gina Marie. Gina is a psychic medium and an intuitive counselor who has a bachelor's degree in psychology, master's degree in counseling, and a doctorate degree in occupational therapy. The Dr. Gina Show is live on Spreaker every other Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific, right here on Paranormal Buzz Radio. Be sure to follow Gina on all her social media. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Gina Marie. Welcome to the show. Here's Gina.
Hello, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving. A little late. Thanksgiving is a great holiday, for me at least, because there's a lot of food, even though this year I didn't have Thanksgiving dinner. I spent my Thanksgiving cleaning. So tonight's show is about energy, clearing the energy, clearing old vibrations, getting ready for new vibrations. So let me say hello to everyone that's listening live, everyone that's going to listen to the recorded version. Thank you, Shay. Thank you, Matt, for putting on this show. And thank you, all my listeners. And don't forget, guys, if this is your first time listening, there is a chat. So in the chat, you can put comments or questions. And when I have that open up, Shay will come online and we will address the questions, answer the questions. And also you can chat anytime in between, chat amongst yourselves. And when I open up the chat for my questions, I'll let you guys know, and Shay will come on and we will talk. So tonight's topic, like I said, is about clearing the energy. So let me start by, all my followers out there that listen to me, my clients that get readings, you know how, I always talk about energy and talk about how important energy is. Energy is, like I always say, the biggest thing that we have to worry about. Our body is 80% water. Our heart, our organs are 80-something% water. And with water, if you listen to the Dr. Emoto, his experiment, where I always talk about this, he had water he put in the freezer, and he talked to the water, one part of water that he froze, he talked to it and said, all positive comments, you're beautiful, I love you, all these great comments to the one frozen water. And to the other frozen water, all negative comments, you're no good, you're not good enough. And then when he looked at the water, the one that he had spoke really good thoughts to was beautiful, it was all crystallized, and it was really pretty. And the water that he talked negative to was dark and dirty. And just think of that as a vibration. Right? Words, a vibration. Now think of your body, which is mostly made up of 80-something% water, and your heart is 85, I think, percent water, something like that, some high percentage, 80-something%. And your heart is where you feel your emotions. You have your brain, which is human, and the human brain that we were come down here with gives us the autonomic nervous system. You're lifting your hand, ouch, that's hot. Your brain registers a lot of things, and your brain is, it helps your body go. And people always say, like, you might have an argument with your brain and your heart. So I think of my heart as like the brain of my soul. Like, I feel it. People say something like, you feel it in your gut, like it's a gut feeling, a gut instinct. I'm more like you feel it in your heart. And there was times I remember, probably like years ago, like 10 years ago when I was in college. I remember at the time one of those relationships that I always talk about, when I was in my relationship with my ex, who is he was the one that is now we're broke up, but he was in prison, but we talk about him. But he was very challenging. It was a difficult relationship. You know, we definitely a lot of love, a lot of good things, a lot of positive things in the relationship, but challenging. And I remember young, 20-something, I would feel like, and I didn't at that time even know the difference between like energy, and you feel it in your heart, and you feel it in, you know, your heart or your head. I didn't understand that like I do now. I was doing a lot of self-discovery then. And I remember things would happen, and I would feel like I was having a heart attack at 20-something. Just like pains, like so much pain, like really seriously thought, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. And I would get such stress pains around my heart. It was really crazy. And because I would be like, I was in school, I was trying to study, and then, you know, something would happen, and he would get me like, to the point where like I literally had these pains in my heart. And I didn't know what it was. And people were just like, oh, it's anxiety, whatever. But I look back now that I know, and I know like you feel it in your heart, like it would be like a clenching, a tightness. Every time you feel something's off. It's like the energy, the water, the vibration of your organ. And I always relate to the emotional scale, which I always talk about. And I remember when I discovered that, the emotional scale and energy, and I was putting it all together. And even though I've been a medium since birth, talking to dead people, I've been talking to the council since, you know, child too, channeling the council, but I really didn't understand it all as much as I have been in the last, probably, I have to say, really last 2 years, really, when I've really started. And of course, I'm always going to keep continuing to learn. It's never done. But the emotional scale, I would say, like, take a picture of the emotional scale, put it as your screensaver. I have the emotional scale everywhere. It's meant so much to me, especially, like I said, in the last 2 years, 3 years, I started learning so much about the emotional scale. And if you look at the emotional scale, it makes so much sense as far as like energy goes. So you look at the bottom of that emotional scale, and down at the bottom of the energy, remember the energy, the water, the bottom of that emotional scale is fear. At the bottom, there is fear, guilt, shame. I just remember those. Fear, guilt, and shame. So I've lived at the bottom of that emotional scale. And if you know my journey and you listen to my shows, you know, I always tell you about my personal journey too, because like I say, we're all in this together. I'm helping you. Yes, I'm a medium and a psychic. I can channel. Yes, I can't do that for myself. But I also have a doctorate degree in counseling, many, many years experience counseling. So I look at that, shame, fear, and guilt, right at the bottom of the emotional scale, where I sat for so long. And again, like I told you, the last 4.5 years of my life has been something else. And let's look at, I'd say about 4.5 years ago, almost 5, is when my life just started, like I always talk about that garden. I was planning about 4.5 years ago, 5 years ago, I started planning like a lot of negativity in my garden, just a lot of weeds, a lot of negativity. Just I complained about everything. I remember my grandma saying to me, "Can you stop complaining, Gina?" And I would just be like, "Oh no, this sucks, that sucks." You know, my job sucked, whatever sucked. Whatever I was talking about sucked. My job, my relationship at the time, I complained about that. I complained about my job. I can't think of, I must have been the most negative person ever when I look back. Complaining about everything. I complained as soon as I walked out the door. I was either tired or the weather sucked. I just think I lived in complaining. So at that time, I was just planting my negative garden, planting my seeds, the energy that I was growing about 4.5, 5 years ago. I started growing some negative shit. So let's go fast forward to probably 2 years into me planting some negative shit, which would be about 3 years ago, right? I started blooming all these negative energies, and everything started crashing for me, like everything. And then I started attracting like things at work or my career that was down there, because if I'm vibrating down there, of course I'm going to attract all the negativity. How can I attract anything positive? Because my magnet, myself, my water, that was a bunch of negativity. I had a whole negative garden full of negative energy. So I was attracting all this negativity within work. I couldn't stand everybody. Everyone was an asshole. Everyone I encountered, there was something wrong with everything. And then the relationship I was in, fear, shame, and guilt. It was like, I have no secrets here. I had a relationship, and I have to say that, I had a couple relationships and fake phone numbers and living with two different guys, one in one state and another. I was the worst. Like, I look back and, I complain about now different relationships and I see it, but my friends will laugh. Like, I had the bat phone. I could not imagine being in one relationship. I was a woman, yeah, but I had 2 relationships plus being other people. I couldn't get that. And all that energy that I was taking on, and the sneaking and the lying, just down there, and the worst negative energy I could get. And what it got me? It got me in debt, credit card debt. I lost my medical license for a minute. I had to go to anger management classes. I obviously got in trouble for my job. Lost everything. My house flooded. Anything you can think of was just going so wrong. Like, at the point where I was always doing amazing, and then everything started just fucking falling apart, just one thing and another. But I look back, and how could it have not? Look what I was doing. Look how I was living, lying and cheating and sneaking around and just complaining and just being the worst thing ever. And just thinking I was like, not even thinking about it, not even understanding energy, not even understanding what I was putting out. None of that vibration. So what did I start to attract? I started to attract people people, situations, everything that vibrated where I was, down there on the emotional scale of all that shit that I was in. And I started attracting those type of situations and people into my life. Let's talk about 4 years ago, right? That's when I started just attracting that. And all this, like, I just remember one time hanging out with one of these guys I was hanging out with, and he was talking about all energies or something. And I just remember something he said just clicked to me. And I was like, man, like, I can't have all these energies. Like, this is like so much energies, too much energies. I got to change this. Like, any energy that you're bringing around you, even if it's like relationships, not even if you're not even like sleeping with them, whatever, it's just a friend or whatever, and you're spending time with that person, that's all their energy. You're collecting all their energy. You're collecting their energy. You're collecting the people that you engage with too long at work. Keep it moving with the people at work. Don't bring them all into your energy. Now all of a sudden you're hearing about all their complaints and their husband and their kids, their girlfriend, their this and this. Just keep it moving. Unless right now I have very few friends, very few people that I do bring into my energy, because I understand how sacred it is, how important it is, because everything that I engage with, even TV, I haven't watched TV in so long. I can't even tell you the last time I sat down to watch TV. And if I do, sometimes I'll just be like, oh, tonight I'm going to treat myself. Like, I'm going to watch, like, Netflix, and I'll only watch, like, a comedy movie or maybe, like, a good documentary or something. But I used to watch just anything, like a lot of violent shows and movies and just crap, really. I used to just feed my energy with that. And I don't even do that no more. And food, as far as, like, I was vegan for a long time. I just stopped being vegan. But just the energy of that. Now, even though I'm not vegan, I try to eat, like, the organic chicken that was raised good. And I do eat chicken, and I do eat steak, and I try to eat the organic stuff. I can't do it all the time, but I'm pretty conscious of trying to not eat that animal that was tortured. Most of the time I do eat vegan, but I do like steak and chicken, and I do try to eat the organic once in a while. But even like that, you got to watch all the energy of the food that you put in and where it's from. Like, I remember just, like, always pulling up the fast food. Doesn't even matter. But just think of all the energy that goes into, like, the food. Where I was a waitress, I worked in bars, like restaurants. I worked in really good restaurants, but sometimes you got to go to a place where the love is put into the food. It's the energy. What are you eating? Just where did that come from? Someone just, like, threw it together. They're complaining about their job. They're miserable. They're throwing that food together, and that's what you're eating. It's like everything is so important, every single thing. So as I learn more about this and the energy and the journey, and like I said, it first started out with, like, relationships, like, God, like, just being true to yourself and who you are and the person or the, that you're with, you're in a relationship. And then it started for me to look at, like, my work environment. I started looking at things little by little. And I can be OCD at times where I'm just, like, completely to the left, and I try to balance things out. But now, like, I look at everything. I spend a lot of time alone, which I never thought. Like, you hear me talk about this all the time. Like, I could never imagine, like, Friday or Saturday night, I'm just like, who am I hanging out with? Like, what am I doing? I could not think about, like, the thought of maybe, like, sitting home on a Friday or Saturday night up until not even long ago, like 2 years ago probably, would just be like, that is not happening. Like, who am I hanging out with? Like, even during the week, like, there was 4 or 5 years ago, I think I was out every night, at least, every night. Now I'm cool with just sitting home, reading a book or petting the cat, just being with good energy. And my life has, I can't say it's like amazing. My life is really good right now. It's good. But it's only gotten better probably within the last year from that negativity garden. And it still needs a lot of work. That's for sure. But I've been planning a lot of good stuff and raising my vibration for sure within this last year. Of course, I'm always, like, hashtag failing my test a lot. Like we always talk about, my clients are doing amazing. A lot of them are passing their tests. You get stuck in a lesson, which is a lot of energy that you're pulling with you. You're dragging in this energy of the lesson. And I've been dragging some energy of past lessons because I've been vibrating so low on that emotional scale. Low, low, low. So I've been dragging a lesson with me for so long because I had been down there in that emotional scale of shame, fear, guilt, things like that, down there. So, of course, I've been dragging that around with me. So I not too long ago did a spiritual journey, and a lot of meditating, and what I heard through it, because, again, even though I can channel the counsel for all you guys when I'm doing your readings and I talk to all your dead people, I have a hard time for myself. However, I get a lot of signs, so I learned how to get readings for myself by asking for signs and more guidance. Or if I'm actually channeling the counsel for another client, or even when I channel here, I'll learn. I'll go back and listen to my shows and get the information that the counsel had given. But one of the things that I had heard was that energy is stuck in a lot of objects. And I should know this from psychometry because, there's a lot of psychics out there that do practice psychometry, which is they can pick up an object and pick up things from it. I was never big. That's not my specialty for sure, but there is a lot of psychics that do that and mediums that, again, that is not my specialty. I don't even know if, like, I don't think I'm really that good at it. If I was, I don't think I ever did it. But I can look at an object now, and that's mine. And I went and I decided, like, I knew by the end of November, I was really, really busy. I did a lot of gallery readings, a lot of big gallery readings. I was testing myself, and I did gallery readings like almost 100 people, which is, like, I'll tell you, after I did that gallery reading, I needed like a few days to really decompress from that. But I learned a lot from that last gallery reading that I did, and a lot of meditation before it. And what I heard from my guides was what I need to do, again, is like clean up the situations of the people, which I have been. I've been, my friends that I have now, and truly, like, I have, like, my friend Joanna, she's like my best friend. She always helps me vibrate high, and my friend Joy and Rosanna and Linny, these are just like some of my best friends, and each one of them are just amazing. Like, I've met all these girls within the last 4 years of my life, and that's because my vibration has changed so much. Like, I still have friends I went to college with that are just amazing for sure, and they're still my friends, but they're getting families now, getting to that point. Not that I'm there, but they do. All my college friends are like, getting to that marriage, college thing. So we're still friends. But my friends now that I just mentioned, like, these girls just vibrate so high and they bring my energy up. And now I can't even be around someone that doesn't. And I'm not really friendly. I'm not saying I'm not friendly, but I don't just like warm up to people for sure. Like, it takes me a long time to be like, okay, I see you, I get to know you, before I'm like, and I engage and I keep things short. And I'm not that like, I'm going to be your friend kind of thing where, I can get a vibe. And even like I train martial arts, and there's a lot of, there's mostly men there, but there's a lot of the guys that I'm good friends with, a lot of them that I just feel their energy. It's just who I can vibrate with. It's just an energy. But as far as objects go, so the council, and I got my messages that I need to clean things up. So if you know me, I live in Manhattan, in New York, most of the time. But I do have a house in Jersey, and I do spend some time there when I want to get out of the city. I just keep it just as my country home. But anyway, it's been probably at least, again, 4.5 years since I've even spent more than 1 or 2 days in my Jersey house, where I am right now. I'm there right now. So I haven't spent much time there. So it was just, I'd come in for a couple of days, visit some family, hang out with some friends, and not spend much time in that Jersey house at all. But it was the time I knew that I had to go through this Jersey house. I had a lot, when my grandma passed away, like all her stuff in the basement, and just time I needed to go through it. So I was getting a message that I needed to clean up my energy. So I started in my New York apartment, and I would literally pick up every object I had and just see like where the vibration of that object is. And like I remember just like picking up, like I went to Mexico with one of my my relationship, and we went to Mexico, and we lived with each other for a few years. So I had so much left from when me and him lived together into this new apartment. I would just be like picking up the stuff that we got from Mexico, or like just looking, he was from Argentina, just like picking up the Argentinian coins, and just like everything, like, just picking up anything that, he bought me, the stuffed animal, whatever. And I just remember just picking up these objects, and me and him don't even speak anymore. And I'm just like looking at these objects, like, and I just started throwing them out. Like, everything was just, what am I holding on to it for? And I just probably threw out almost every object in my New York apartment, just everything was holding something that was just, it came with something attached to it. And I swear I threw out like probably almost everything. I might have left 3 or 4 things that I had. And then I went through all my clothes, and like if I threw out so much clothes. I look at a jacket, I'm like, oh my God, like I remember like we were in Florida, Miami. I remember in Miami we got in some argument or something, and I wore this jacket, and I just threw that jacket out. So it's like I really literally threw out everything. And that New York apartment, which New York isn't too big, it took me a few days, and I just literally did that to everything. I went through every drawer I picked up, and through the pens. I literally had almost nothing. And after 3 days of just being immersed in that New York apartment, I knew I was ready for Jersey. Now, Jersey is a big 4-story house. So I came here probably last Tuesday night, I think. I'm still here. I literally worked my ass off. I went through every floor, every single thing in the basement. And if you follow my Instagram, you can see what I did. I threw out, like I have 30 crates that went to the veterans, right? Then about 15 went to Goodwill. This is no lie. I literally think I was a hoarder. I had probably 3 of the same pair of black boots because I was always living in 2 or 3 places, you know. I lived here, I lived there. And everything, when I would move from one house to another, I just threw in the Jersey house. It was like the dumpster of my apartment when me and my Argentinian boyfriend lived there, or me and my, ex lived in Philly. I just threw everything out and put it all together. And I have this house now that I'm ready to go back to New York tomorrow, and I literally feel like amazing. Like I feel like the energy was just cleansed from me, everything. And I lived with 5 different guys. I'm never married, but I lived with 5 relationships, and so I had like pretty much 5 relationships worth of like shit just from our houses, and just I'm just at the point where I've done so much already in my life, and it's just I look back and I think that God put me through all this so I can be in the position that I'm in today, because I talk to my clients now and I'm like, oh yeah, I've done that. I've been there. Like, I think I've been through everything, and my clients will know it. Like, I can probably empathize with everything on both sides of the coin. I've been the one that was cheated on. I've been the cheater. I've been, the one that had the good job. I'm the one who lost the job. I'm the one who, had a great friend or lost. I've been through everything. Like, really got so much stuff, and I've been at the lowest of the low, and probably definitely in some type of depression. And then I've been so fucking high and happy. It's just I've been through everything, really. So I now I'm sitting here in my Jersey house, and it's so crazy. Like, I feel like I remember going to a network chiropractor. That was back when I talk about I was in that abusive relationship with. And I went to the network chiropractor, and I remember just like network chiropractors, if you guys ever been to one, it was life-changing. Like, my spiritual journeys, I talk about them. They were life-changing, for sure. I did many spiritual journeys, and they were life-changing. But before that, 9 years ago, when I went to the network chiropractor, I tell you what, they were amazing. Whatever he did released so much energy. Like, that relationship I was in, definitely physically abusive. I left that, and I think it had a lot to do with that network chiropractor, just releasing energy. And I remember being there and hearing stories about other people and watching like them go through so much changes. But it really helped. I haven't been to one since, but I think I need to look one up again. So if you guys ever know, like, network chiropractors, they just touch you or something, and the way they manipulate or just touch your body, they know how to release energy. And now I'm talking 8 years ago when I really wasn't even sure what energy was. But that's how I feel right now. After getting rid of so much shit, I feel so clean and clear. And when I go back to New York tomorrow, or everything, you know, I'm just starting like so different. And you all know that I got rid of jobs this year. I got rid of friends this year. I got rid of family this year. Like, and, you know, I got rid of so much this year. I purged like relationships, everything, because of the energy that was just gross, man. Because just think of like all your shit, the energy that's attached to your shit, you know, that jacket, that knick-knack, that whatever it is, that shit, right? And then the relationships you're attached to, that friend that's just continually like selfish, just wants to like go hang out at the bar because they just want to do this, or, you know, they're just always looking for selfish. Get rid of that shit. Or the family member that's continually negative. I got rid of everything. Or the relationship that you're either like, you know, in a non-committed relationship that makes you feel like shit, or you're in a relationship where you're cheating on them. Like, I got rid of everything. Like, none of that. I'm not ever going to do that to myself again. Like, never, ever, ever. Like, I don't want that energy. I don't want the energy of any object that's associated with anything, any relationship, friendship, or intimate, anything like that just brings about energy anywhere. I want to check it on the emotional scale. So I'm in a friendship, and this friend is like negative, so it's bringing me down, and like, oh God, like that friend, you know, got to go. Give them a few chances, you know, try to help them. Of course, you need that friend to talk to you, but there's a difference. You know, you got to feel it out. Like, is this a mutual friendship, or is it just about me listening to them? Or, you know, because of course friendships, you go through those things. You have to give and take, but weigh that out. You know, your family member, are they dragging you down? Are they draining you? Just look at your relationship you're in. Is that relationship bringing you on the emotional scale? Are you in fear? Like, are you fear they're going to break up with you? Are you in fear that you're not good enough? Are you in shame? Maybe you're in shame because like this person is like, you know, there's a lot of people, I have a lot of clients, and no judgment here, but someone, you know, you might be dating someone that has a significant other or something. Like, that's shameful, really. That puts you in shame. Like, you got to hide that shit. Like, you're in fear, doubt, insecurity. You don't feel good enough. Or someone that doesn't want to commit to you, and you don't feel good enough, man. You're like, what's wrong with me, man? Like, they're not in that commitment. That's cool if you're a person that is like polygamist or whatever that is, or someone that wants to just fuck around with everyone, cool. But if you're not, don't put yourself down there on that emotional scale. Don't settle for something that doesn't make you feel good, because there's plenty of people that do want a commitment or monogamy, and there's plenty of people, they're the people that just want to fuck around. That's like, you know, or someone that's on like some, I've never been on a dating site, like, and if you are, again, no judgment for you, but for me, like, I've looked at different ones of my friends' sites because I wanted to check it out. Like, I would never date a guy that's on Tinder, Bumble, or any one of those things. To me, that's just like, you know, because I know, no, you're on that thing, like, you're just out there, like, looking for all this energy. Like, to me, I looked at a few people, like, the energy I was getting, I wanted to throw up. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I just don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like, it's just so much energy. And of course, I'm an empath. I'm sensitive, but I just think it's a tough thing because you're pretty much on there. And I read some of the things, like, wow, even Instagram, man. Instagram's pretty fucking funny too. It's turning into like, you like someone's picture. I don't even know whose picture I'm liking sometimes. I'll go and search and I'll see something, I'll like it. Just cool. It's inspirational, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden you're getting an inbox. This dude thinks like you like him. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't even know who you are. Like, really, I just thought the picture was cool. Like, or you were doing something cool. You were motivating, whatever. And people are so crazy like that. Like, you can't even like something, or people get the wrong idea. Or there is fucking weirdo guys and women, I'm sure, that are out there like liking the picture, and it's just a crazy dynamic, man. It's so childish. Guys, girls in their 30s are just turning it into something that is so energetically fucked up. Like, oh, this person's liking that, that person's liking that, there's kisses, they're hugging. I just think it's just destroying, man. It's destroying. Like the pictures because, you know, you're supporting something, but I don't even know if, like, people talk about taking these likes off Instagram. Man, I think it's a really good idea because it's fucking crazy. It's all crazy. It is. It's insane. And I can't even say, like, I'm out of it because I have been notorious for it. I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite. I've dated men that I've seen on Facebook, or it was probably Facebook, and I see, like, they're totally trying to, like, hook up with me and clearly have a relationship. Like, I see it. Or, there's clearly they're with that woman. It's clear. You see it. It's just, it's just a crazy, crazy, crazy thing. And out there, it gets insane. And even now, I mean, there's so many, like, people there that are just sending so many, the vibration, and there's a lot of negativity for sure. And even it's like like I said, I watch the TV I watch. I don't feed myself with that anymore. I watch where I'm going. The last thing I had to learn was to watch Instagram. Again, like I told you, like, I'm human down here. I might be spiritual, but I'm human. And Instagram, like, everyone filters their pictures, right? So you're looking and you think, like, oh my God, like, everyone's so beautiful, like this. And then you see that person in person, you're like, holy shit, like, that's not them. But you get so distorted looking at that, like the energy that you bring yourself in, or everyone's having such a great life, man. Everyone's on vacation, like this, and this. It's just the energy. You got to watch what you're feeding yourself, even on social media. This, like I said, totally guilty of it. Instagram now for me is obviously for my work, to help you guys, to post for sure. But, it's definitely a picture album for me too. Like, I like to look back and see it. But I do like to engage, and, it does fuck me up. And I can't say I'm not perfect with this. I go back and forth. But it's an energy thing. It's something you got to watch for sure. Okay, so guys, I'm going to do your universal reading. So if this is your first time listening, I use the Rider-Waite deck, and I put out a universal message. So this message is for, like, someone might be listening and this resonates with them, so I always say that. And then I always put out a manifestation, because we always practice manifestations. And like I said, energy, in order to get the manifestation, right? Because that's what we're all looking for. The manifestation, what it is you want in life, what it is that you like. You're never really, you're not going to get this. Like, if someone's looking for the perfect relationship, and I tell my clients this all the time, you're looking for a relationship, right? You're not going to get it if your energy's fucked up. That's why, like I said, I fucking cleaned all my energy up. People, places, and now things, objects. I've cleaned it up. I'm not going to say it's perfect yet, because I'm still working. But how do I expect myself to have, like, anything, like the perfect career, the perfect relationship, when my energy's all fucked up, man? I have all these objects that are all fucked up. I'm engaging with these people that are all fucked up. Like, you got to clean up your energy to get the manifestation. So I work on small manifestations, just finding an object here and there, just practicing stuff. So here's your universal reading. I always pick 5 cards from the Rider-Waite deck, and then with the council, I help channel the message. So give me a second here. I'm going to put the cards out. See what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The cards look like extra bright to me today. I don't know what this is. Like, my energy must be clear or something, something like that. Whew. Okay, so I'm going to channel this. So here we go. So you are about to get a really nice, big opportunity. This is going to be very, 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 abundance is coming to you. Abundance is coming to you, and this is in one opportunity. So one big opportunity. Someone's going to be like, just going to appear like out of the clouds for you. This is like a manifestation, probably something you've been working on. It's just going to be like, oh, here it comes. And you're just like, you're looking at it like, holy shit, is this for real? Like, you're kind of in shock. You can't believe it, but it's coming. And with that is also coming like an amazing lover. You're getting like a great relationship, like all that passion, all that great sex, all that passion and shit that you've been looking for. That's coming. This is like amazing. This is going to be either something new or something that's like rebirthed and just like freaking amazing. It's like your wish come true in both areas, your career and your partner, your lover. It's just at both areas are just going to be like wish come true on both of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're also like, it's almost like you win. It's like you've fought so many battles. And you fought these battles alone pretty much alone with no support. But you look back, it's kind of like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I looked at my kingdom. I was finally there as the queen or the king of whatever you want. And you're looking back on it. It's just freaking amazing. And the manifestation is, I think I said this one before, but it's what we got again. It's the sword. So look for a sword for your manifestation. And I love when you guys send me, inbox me on my Instagram. It's Psychic Medium Dr. Gina Marie. And you send me like the manifestations that you found. So I hope you liked the universal reading. So now, remember, chat's open. I can't see it because I'm over here and I don't have it. So I'm going to bring Shay on, and me and Shay are going to go over the chat. So put your questions in and we're going to open that up. So come on, Shay.
Hello.
Hi, Shay. Hello. Do we have any questions in chat today?
Not yet, but I'm sure they're getting ready to type. But we did have
okay.
We did have a comment that Joanna said like 20 minutes ago. "Aw, we love you too. You're the best."
Okay. Hi, Joanna. I'm glad you're here. I don't know who else is listening, but I can't see chat. But thank you guys for listening. So if we don't have anything in chat, I'm going to talk about manifestations a little bit and how this works until we start commenting. So I just gave everyone a universal reading. And at the end of the universal reading, I said we're going to work on manifesting a sword. And I know Jennifer's probably watching, listening, Michelle, who else is there? Allie, I know Joanna, the few people just like Anna Marie that I can think of offhand that I know you guys are listening, and they're really notorious for getting the manifestations. Like I'll be like, I'll say something, I'll post a manifestation like look for a pink flower. And I always say manifest in 3 or 4 days, and this is a sword. I think I had a Viking hat last time, like manifestation was to find a Viking hat. And I got a whole bunch of people that found the Viking hat, and I found like, again, 3 or 4, that's what was super crazy. But it's just so cool because you can work on manifestation small, whether it's like, for me, manifestation, a parking spot in New York. Like, okay, I'm going to get a parking spot in like 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I'm going to get a parking spot. I ask for the parking gods and I manifest a parking spot. So we all want the big manifestations. You know, a lot of us want to win $1 million, or a lot of us want to get a vacation home, or a lot of us actually just want to go to a vacation in Italy, or, you know, get that career or get the relationship that you want. Those are, you know, big manifestations, and big manifestations come by. And it's funny because my first manifestation ever in my life was a sword. And I told this story many a times, but just to repeat. And it's funny because I had picked the manifestation as a sword today. And I when I was cleaning up and getting rid of my stuff, I do have one sword that I'm not getting rid of. So when I was 4, I had manifested a sword because me and my friend Danny were at Clementon Lake Park in New Hampshire, and it was my favorite park to go to. And he wanted to win a sword, and I remember being so sad that he didn't win. And we were playing in my yard, and I really was thinking about it. I wanted him to win a sword. And then we heard like a noise outside. It was a car or something, it sounded like. And we ran out to my front yard, and there was like a sword in the middle of the street. So like I totally manifested that at 4. Like obviously I was manifesting a hell of a lot of shit at 3, 4, or 5, you know, because I really didn't know what I was doing. I had no blocks. And when you don't have no blocks, no resistance, like I look back and I was like the fucking queen manifester as a child, you know, all the way up until I started getting fear probably. But anyway, so manifesting a sword, and people will start sending me like, I found the sword in like this magazine, or I was on Instagram and this sword popped up, or I was in Bloomingdale's, like, and that sword popped up. You just start like small. So that's why I do that with my clients, is like try to manifest something, because when you work on manifesting something smaller, you start saying something like, some of my clients I work on like a manifestation journal, and we, you know, clients that I coach or I work with every week, and they might find like I manifested like a cup of coffee, or you manifest a call from like your best friend that you haven't talked to since college, or you manifest like making up, you and your father arguing, and you manifest like he calls you and you make up. So that's how, like, you start. And then all of a sudden, manifestation becomes so easy because you learn how to do it. You get the confidence by starting with small stuff. And that's why, like, I put out some small stuff for you guys. But, of course, with my clients, we're working on big stuff. My regular clients are manifesting better than me at times. So anyway, so that's where the sword comes from in the reading. And the universal readings that I do, you know, they're for whoever they resonate with. You take that message for you. Obviously, it's not a personal reading. I'm not specifically talking to you, but I am channeling that reading, so it is for someone that's listening. So, any questions yet?
Yeah, we have a couple questions. Wolf would like to know if you could explain, I don't know where the question went. What a manifestation, try that again. What a manifestation is.
Okay, I kind of explained it just a little bit before that. Maybe he said that before I answered that, whatever. But just to recap a little bit what I said, is just a manifestation is, manifest something. It's almost like out of thin air. You want to manifest something. You want something. So you manifest it. I call it like shopping. So, like, say I manifest so much shit, and I have it for probably 4 years. Probably, like I said, that was the negativity garden. But before that, like, I remember shit like moving to New York, and when you know you're in New York, you know it's difficult to get an apartment. It's just hard. You got to make a fortune. You have to know someone. The broker's fee is crazy. So I wanted to move to New York, and I wanted an apartment. Like, that's a hard shit, especially, you know, I'm young. I'm moving to college. I wanted an apartment. And I said, back then I was amazing manifester still. Like, right now I'm working out of some energy to get back to where I was. So I wanted to manifest an apartment in New York. And then all of a sudden, my cousin Frankie, best friend, was like moving out of his apartment just when I wanted to move there. And he would give me the lease, which is like giving you gold in New York, because you don't get that shit, especially at 20-something. I'm moving to college, you know, you don't get that. And I got it. And then I was like, amazing. Then I needed to get a job. Like, oh shit, I need to get a job. Like, that's another thing. Like, you're going to work. And back then in New York, back when I was starting college, there was this movie that came out, and it was all about New York, and I can't remember exactly what movie it was, but anyway, I was just like, okay, I didn't really know much about New York. I got in NYU. I just wanted to go there, and I just remember seeing this movie, and Coyote Ugly, that was it. And, you know, girls were dancing on the bar, and it was so cool. And I was like, man, I want to work in that bar. I found the bar. It was in the meatpacking district. And I got a job there. Like, I manifested that job because, like, that's where I wanted to work. And I was like, I'm going to work there. I'm going to bartend there. And, you know, that's freaking, I walked in. I wind up meeting the owner. She happened to be there that night. She started doing shots with me. And I was doing shots with her. I got all fucked up. But I got the job. You know, it's like manifesting, like something you want. And then I remember I wanted to manifest. I wanted a Puerto Rican boyfriend that had like a bunch of tattoos. I was like, you know, moving to New York, and I wanted him, and I wanted him to have tattoos and piercings. Like, and I remember being on the 6 train, and I met him too. God, I wound up being with him for a few years, and but I manifested like what I wanted. Like, I got the job, I got the guy, I got in NYU, man. That was hard enough. Like, I just manifesting, just kind of like picking what I got. Like, to get in NYU was really fucking hard too, and I got in. Just, you think of what you want, and you tell the universe what you want, and I completely used to believe it. Like, whatever I wanted, I would just say it. It was so easy for me. It's coming back for me because I was an expert manifester, and it's definitely coming back, but it was because I slid down that negative emotional scale of the energy. I was riding so low in relationships and people and jobs and accepting things that were putting me so low on the scale. Of course I couldn't manifest. All the energy, that was all the junk that was carried around with me, just dirtying me up. In order to manifest, you got to clear shit up. So you're ready. Like, your energy has to be ready. And then it just got to the point where I'm like, I'm that's what I said. I'm cleaning up the people, the energy, the situations in my life, because I got to manifest again. Like, I used to manifest like a motherfucker, manifesting everything. And that shit's coming back because I'm not falling, I'm getting off of that. Again, I see what happens. I see what it did. I look back, so much work I've been doing, and talking with clients, seeing it with myself, doing a lot of research and doing a lot of spiritual journeys. So, any other questions? Okay. I would never, ever. This is huge. It's funny you asked that. My dad, and Joanna knows my dad. My dad is an antique hoarder, let's call him that. And he'll give me something and say, this is like, oh, this is big time. And it's some, I don't know, used painting or I don't know, something. Or a shirt. I'll fucking know. No, I've never, ever wanted anything that was from any place used or that was something, another, and I can't say that everything's bad because I remember buying this house in Jersey and they had left a lot of stuff behind, and different objects that I would pick up, I would just get like a good energy, and both of the spirits, the male and the female, are still in my house. They're both here, and I know that I keep some of their stuff for them. I keep her buttons and I keep like his hammer, like things I keep because that energy has like a good vibration of it. So I can't say not everything for sure. I pick it up myself and I read the energy on it and feel what it feels like. I just look at it, I feel it, and I pick it up and decide whether that's a good energy. Some of the energy, like you can walk into an antique store or, a secondhand thrift store, whatever, and you pick something up and holy shit, man, that stuff has a powerful, good vibration. So you can bring that shit home. But, sometimes you pick it up, it just could be the coolest fucking thing, but you're looking at it and it has such shit energy. You're just like, man, not that one. So I guess it depends. Yeah. All right.
That's the only question so far.
Okay.
And just
okay.
I want to even though you already answered the question, there was a problem with my mic, so they didn't hear the question. So for those that listen back, that was a question from Joanna asking if it was a good idea to bring used furniture such as antiques and stuff into your home because of past energy and other people's energy. So that's what question she was just answering. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to recap a little bit.
One more quick question.
Okay.
Can you sage what you want to keep?
Who gave me that question?
Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. That's funny. Everyone that knows me and works with me, sage, man. I like sage, right? But sage doesn't scare the spirit or the energy away. It's so funny. People like, I sage this, like, the spirit doesn't run because you're saging. Oh, my God, it's like kryptonite to the spirit. It doesn't. It doesn't. I've never seen that happen, man, and I talk to dead people all the time. They're just like, they sniff it up. Nobody's running from that shit. I don't know where that even came from. Like, I don't get it, man. No spirit's running from that shit. It's just like, for me, it's psychological. Like, I sage, man. I got my sage everywhere in both of my houses. And I sage it, and I walk around. I go, only spirits that walk in the light of God, our Father. I do the Our Father thing, whatever. And it's funny. I do it, and I got all my crystals around stuff, and we all know how I feel about that. But, no. The energy within a thing, it's either you feel it or you don't. You make the energy. Let's just say that. Let's say you can pick something up and you feel it. And you can say that's good energy. Fuck that. That's good energy. You set the vibration for it. You set it. You pick it up. You see how you feel. Not everyone. I might pick something up and go, oh my God, this is so horrible. Get that away from me. And someone else is like, man, this is so awesome. So you set it. You pick that vibration. You decide. It's up to you.
They're loving that answer.
Yeah, well, that was channeled. That wasn't regular Dr. Gina. Because I was like, I like that answer too. That wasn't from me. So, okay, so I'm going to recap before we close out. So I want to thank everyone for listening. I want to thank everyone that helps me, because by me doing this show, yes, you talk to regular Dr. Gina a lot, but a lot of this is me channeling. I'm talking to the council, and I learn from my shows, and this is how I help myself on my journey. Every time I read a client, and like if I'm doing a gallery reading, I'm talking to, mostly dead people, and I learn from, their spirits. I grow in every way because of my clients. Every gallery I do, every personal reading that I do, every event that I do, every show that I do, every guest appearance I do, everything I do, I learn. So I want to thank you all for helping me on my journey, because without you guys, I wouldn't be where I am, for sure. So I appreciate all of you, and you all help me grow. And my social media, you can find me at Psychic Medium, Dr. Jean Marie, on my Instagram. And I also have Facebook, which is just Jean Marie. You can find Paranormal Buzz Radio on here every other Monday. You can go to their Instagram and find their shows, or their Facebook, which is Paranormal Buzz Radio. And I want to, what else do I got? Oh, yeah, I have my first TV segment interview out on Amazon Prime, and that's Wicked Witches. And there'll be more to come. It's a series, but the first one's out, and you can find that on Amazon Prime. And, oh, yes, I also do a live on Weird Weekends page, and that's Behind the Third Eye. And that is, I usually do that on Thursday, so you can go to Weird Weekends and find me there. So that's it. Any more questions?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, well, thank you, Shay. Thank you, Matt. And I will be back in a couple weeks, and you guys feel free to text me, give me any suggestions for a new show, anything you want to hear about. So thank you very much, and good night.
Hi, welcome to Metro by T-Mobile.
Hi, my dad is in serious need of an upgrade.
Yeah, my phone's a fossil.
He needs a new phone and a new network stat.
Well, when he switches to Metro, he can get an amazing iPhone 7 with HD Retina display for just $99.99 after ID validation.
Wow, $99.99?
Bye-bye, Fossil.
Requires porting of eligible number not currently active on T-Mobile network or active on Metro in past 90 days. With validation of ID. An independent database limit 4 per account/household. 32 gigabyte model only. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Celebrate the big 2020 with T-Mobile. Switch now and get 2 lines for just $90 and 2 new iPhone 11s on us. So you can take a portrait built for 2 with the ultra-wide camera.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, cute.
Hurry in to T-Mobile and get 2 lines for $90 and 2 iPhone 11s on us with qualifying trade-ins.
Via 24 credits for well-qualified buyers with autopay, plus taxes and fees. If you cancel before receiving 24 credits, you may owe up to the full value of your device of $699.99. Contact us. Qualifying port-ins and finance agreements required.